Hey now, it's Sharon. I'm back to share some ideas on what happened to me during whistleblowing in my policing career. And I hope that helps others kind of give them a different perspective on how I saw things, how we can better traditional policing here in the US through individual experiences. And with that being said, if you're new to the channel, I'm a retired detective. I worked for 20 years for a southeastern city in the US, and I was also in the military, sharing my ideas, experiences, opinions on this platform in hopes of helping others who are thinking about getting into policing, already in policing, relatives and family of police officers. Just giving you a different perspective to think about things. I wrote this book. It's called My Middle Eastern Conflict, Looking Back at My Future. Take a look at the whole cover, okay? It's about whistleblowing. I whistleblew. It's the second time in my career whistleblowing, and I talk about that in the book and what I went through on a daily basis and some of the things that I discovered about myself because I was tired of not knowing the truth in terms of who I was. I went back in history. I went back in my to my ancestors and talked to relatives and got names, and I started to dig that way, doing the whole DNA search thing, and I found out some things about myself that I share in the book. And also, hence the cover, it kind of indirectly connects to that. I might as well say it, I'm a Hebrew, and that's some of that is in the book. But also in policing, the second time that I had to whistleblow, I had to tell the truth, basic truth, just tell the truth. And I was ostracized and retaliated against for it. That led me to go inside myself to question some things that I had, some beliefs that I had. I talk about that, white men and white Jesus. And I talk about that in the book and the issues that I had with that. And I brought that into policing. I also talk about, like I said, not knowing the truth. All those things I just mentioned were half truths. My bias towards white men and white Jesus, or not knowing who I was because in school I just started in slavery. And I always wondered, there's got to be something before slavery. But they don't teach that. I had to go search for the truth. Telling the truth as a whistleblower, and then being ostracized and retaliated against in a profession that I thought was honorable and would hold that up. It didn't hold it up. It's almost not even a foundational principle or a pillar, almost, my experience. So I wanted to know the truth at just different areas of my life where I didn't have the whole truth. And going to school here, I didn't learn the truth about who I was, where I came from. I had to go dig for that. Again, policing, telling the truth, and being ostracized for it. I wanted to know what was that about in policing, the indoctrination that I clearly was under. You know, I didn't question my morality and I didn't question my faith, but the two never crossed. They never crossed until I had to take a step back and look at myself and look into my heart. I talk about that in the book. Morality, your morality and faith have to cross. But we're good as officers in not allowing it to cross. And I say that based on my own experience. You know, when you go to testify and they call it test a lie, how you get around not saying things, you know, or stop resisting, stop resisting. I found out the truth about that whole idea that they taught us was to speak it loud so people can hear it in the house or wherever you are, and they can testify, well, I did hear the officer say stop resisting, but that dates back all the way to I believe it's the 1600s, and there was a law to protect white women because they were killing the slaves, the young children of their husbands. And so they had to think about this twisted thing. They're protecting the wives of the slave owners because they were killing the property or the young children of their husbands. I can't remember the name of the law. And in that, when you read it, it talks about disciplining and getting, if you end up killing the slave because they're resisting and you're telling them to stop resisting your correction, think about the truth in that. But anyway, I'm getting too deep into it, but I wanted to know the truth. So I went searching in a lot of different directions in history, in my own personal history, the Bible. I went to different books, and I talk about some of the revelation that I received in this book. I do believe it'll help folks if you read through the whole book, especially parts 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. The revelation that I got, I'm sharing, because why not share it? It's information. It could be revelation. It could be confirmation for some. But yeah, the book is available on lulu.com under the Religion and Spirituality tab. It's also available on Amazon. But I think me wanting to know the truth, there's a lot of people out there that probably want to know the truth to certain degrees, or to what extent, that's up to you. But check out my book. I talk about that in the book. I talk about some of the policing things and what I went on inside and in my head in having to tell the truth and being ostracized and retaliated against. I talk about not knowing the truth about my own history, and I share that and some of the revelation that I got. All right. I just want to share that little bit. Take a look at the online store. The link is in the description. And remember, I'll put the links for the book in the description also. And if you care, comment, and subscribe if you find it interesting, because I'm going to talk about some other things in terms of prayers that I used to get through the ostracism and retaliation, talk about my faith and how that got me through. And that's all I'm going to share right now. All right. As is our tradition, you don't necessarily have to go through a thing to learn from it. Talk to you later. Bye.